Fucking shitty news. New Brunswick is being pushed back by like 2 weeks. So, you know, this happens. The thing with tree planting is that you never actually know when you're officially going to start your season. It all depends on the weather. You know, you can't go out and plant when there's snow on the ground. Usually companies try and get you out as early as possible, but we still gotta wait for Mother Nature to stop being a fucking raging bitch. You know, we had about a week of like plus 15 weather and it was awesome. So it was looking like the season was gonna start on time, maybe a little bit earlier. And then all of a sudden we're getting 2 feet of snow and a high of -3. So as long as the weather stays like that, our season's gonna get pushed back. So I officially have lost out on 2 weeks of planting, which, you know, in the grand scheme of things, when I'm going into 7 months, 2 weeks is really fuck all. But anybody who knows me, Dan, I know you're probably watching this and you know I am a absolute fiend when it comes to getting trees in the ground as long as I can. So losing out on 2 weeks kind of sucks. But the silver lining on the bright side of things, I have a little bit more time to actually get everything ready for what I plan on doing during the season. All of the footage I want to get for YouTube and Instagram. And then I have actually just added on another little project to do during the season, which is probably going to be the toughest one yet. But I'm not really going to go into that. I'm going to save that for a little surprise. So now I actually got some time to get all that ready. So that's a silver lining. But I'm posting this on the 20th, March 20th. I thought I was going to be officially putting a tree in the ground on April 1st. Now it's looking like it's more so going to be around the April 12th time. So yeah, but enough of that. Let's get into the video for this week. The official Midnight's essentials when it comes to packing for a tree planting season. This is not going to be everything that you need to bring. This is only going to be the essentials. I talked about this in my last video 2 weeks ago where I was kind of diving a little bit into my rookie season. And I showed up to that severely unprepared, but I fucking survived. So this is just going to be everything that you need to bring, not stuff that's going to make your life a little bit easier, but if you don't have one of these items, you're more than likely kind of fucked. So let's get into it. This is my essentials packing list for a season of tree planting. I have my whiteboard over here, which has everything listed down. This whiteboard hasn't actually made an appearance in my first video, but I wrote everything down. I've got everything in this room. It was kind of tough because I am a last minute packer, and even though I planned on planting a tree 10 days from now, I probably wouldn't have actually packed up anything for like another week. So getting everything together is always something I procrastinate right to the end. So I had to do it I had to mostly do it for this video. You know, I only grabbed the essentials, which was kind of easy, but I don't have a lot of my stuff for planting. It's actually with a friend, and a lot of this was at my girlfriend Brittany's place. So I got it all together. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go through, show everything, all of the stuff that I personally think you need to bring. Brittany helped me make the list of all of this and put it together. And we had a lot of arguments about shit that she thought was essential and that I did not think was essential. So all of that's going to appear in the video next week. This is just the stuff that I think is essential, and I'm kind of a fucking hardcore motherfucker, I guess, when it comes to planting. So there's a lot of things where I'm like, you don't need that. You don't fucking need that. You don't need rain gear. You don't need baby powder. You don't need any of that shit. You just need a place to live, clothes on your back, and trees in your bag. So anyways, place to live. First thing is your tent. If you are going solo, I do recommend getting something bigger than a 4-person tent. My first few seasons, I was in a tent by myself and I had a 4-person. Wasn't enough room. It was just the fact alone that I couldn't stand up straight kind of pissed me off. So what I did in the seasons before Britt was planting with me and I was in a tent by myself, I would get a 6 to 8-person tent. So, you know, tall enough for me to actually be able to stand inside of it. And I highly recommend getting one that has a divider. I think that having a divider is fucking awesome because you got the one side that you're gonna actually keep dirty. It's fucking impossible to keep a tent clean. But if you have one side that's meant for like your dirty clothes, what you walk in, the side you walk into when you're done work, versus the other side, which is where you sleep, which is clean, I think that is like a huge game changer just mentally. So if you're looking to get a tent and you're by yourself, I would go for a 6 to 8-person that has a divider, or that's just big enough. Maybe you don't need the divider, but it is big enough to separate the clean and the dirty side. Next is your sleeping arrangements. Now, everybody has a different preference when it comes to how they sleep. In my rookie season, I just laid 2 blankets on the bottom, on the ground of my tent, and that's what I slept on. Wasn't very fucking comfortable. I was dealing with back spasms all the time. Kind of sucked. I since then have used cots and like foam mattresses. I've never used a blow up mattress. A lot of people tend to go for a blow up mattress. I personally think those things are fucking stupid because I have never seen a blow up mattress survive the season. There's always a 1 day off where somebody's looking for a patch kit or looking for some kind of fucking new mattress because theirs has a hole in it. So I highly recommend not using one of those. You know, when you're out planting, you're always getting like little branches and shit kind of stuck to you. Maybe you don't realize it, and one of those punctures the hole. So what I did last season and what I think I might be doing this year, Brittany and I are still trying to figure out our sleeping arrangements. Big Old, this is the best sleep I've had in the bush so far. It is just a simple fucking foam mattress. You lay this down, put a blanket on top of it, and it is cozy as fuck. So this is something that I think is huge. Your sleeping bag next. Where is it? It's over here. My rookie season, I went with like, I think I called it a fitted sheet in my video 2 weeks ago. The sleeping bag, it's gonna be a fucking game changer for your first month of the season. Like I was saying earlier, the company that you're gonna plan for is probably trying to get out as early as possible. So that means it's still going to be fucking cold, especially at night. Cold sleeps when you're in the bush and you're in the tent just completely fuck up your planting day. So go for one that's gonna reach like minus 10 degrees minimum. You are going to probably reach that some point in the season early on. Later on in the year, you are going to be hot as fuck. But at the beginning, maybe the first month, you're going to sleep in so many layers and you're probably still going to be cold. You're going to see your breath inside your tent in the morning. So for a sleeping bag, get one that is going to be fucking comfortable, cozy. I know some people who have not brought sleeping bags. Oh, not just comfortable and cozy, also fucking warm. I know people who have not gone a season with a sleeping bag. They just use a fuck ton of blankets. Sleeping bag is probably just the most efficient way to travel and pack up. So, but definitely get one that is going to withstand cold weather. Aside from that, it's your classic, just your pillows and your blankets. What I usually do, and what Brittany and I what we did last year is we had the foam mattress. We put a couple blankets on top of it, put our sleeping bags, and then we had like 1 or 2 blankets left over that we sort of draped over the top. We were traveling with a truck, so we did have a lot more room to pack stuff. So, you know, that kind of sounds like a lot of blankets. It was vacuum sealed in a bag, so it was pretty travel efficient and easy to pack up and didn't take up a lot of room. But you're gonna go with at least 1 blanket, probably 2. I got this bad boy here. I'm pretty sure this has done every season of planting with me so far. I don't actually remember if I went with it last year, but this thing is the fucking best. 1 to 2 blankets, 1 to 2 pillows, and then your sleeping bag and some kind of like mattress. Don't go for the blow-up mattress. Those things are fucking ridiculous. Your PPE, your personal protective equipment, I'm pretty sure that stands for. This is the stuff that you need. If you do not have one of these, you are not going to be able to plant a fucking tree. You need your hard hat, you need your high vis, and you need your boots. So hard hats are simple. You can find hard hats at Mark's Work Warehouse for like fucking $20. You can also get a little bit crazy and get some others. This year I'm gonna be planting with a helmet, I think, for my camera. And the hard hat I usually wear, or that I wore last year, kind of fucking cool. It's got like a brim around it. It fit really well. I always struggle with hard hats because of my fucking hair, but hard hats are going to be, they're going to annoy the fuck out of you. You're going to want to plant with them at all, not want to plant with them ever. But if you're caught with a hard hat, you're probably going to get kicked off the block. When it comes to boots, my number 1 piece of advice for planting is 2 fucking pairs of boots. These are Brittany's boots here because I do not use these. A pair like this and a pair of rubbers. I personally only plant in Helly Hansen rubber boots. These things are the fucking best. I swear by Helly. But when it comes to your boots, I think 2 pairs is great because of planting in wet boots, planting in the rain kind of fucking sucks. So if you kind of just have 1 pair that's dedicated to like wetland, rainy days, so that you're not waking up in the morning and putting your feet, you know, you don't wake up and it's a beautiful day outside and then you're putting your feet in a fucking soaking wet boot. So I like to have 2 pairs of boots, and I highly recommend one of those pairs being rubbers. I only plant in rubbers. I think they're the best. Your high vis, a lot of people don't know what high vis is. They're always like, what does that mean? High visibility. So just some kind of shirt like this. There's a lot of different things you can do. You can do shirts, short sleeve, long sleeve. This is very like meshy and breathable. I don't have them with me, but I actually only really plant in the like suspenders, high vis suspenders. So I wear a normal shirt and then I put the suspenders over top of it, and it always works out for me. That's how I like to plant. But if you can find shirts like this, I don't like planting in short sleeved. Otherwise I would wear this, but this works as well. This is probably the most common thing to use, but I just like the suspenders. I talked about it last year, but I forgot to bring a water jug, and I used a fucking 2-liter jug of barbecue sauce, emptied and washed out, of course, as my water jug. So do not forget your jug. This one here, it's probably the most common one that you're gonna find. They're pretty cheap. Every single Canadian Tire will have this. This is what most planters use. I personally don't like these as much. I did this for like my first 3 years in the bush. This does not keep your water cold at all. Within a fucking hour of being in the sun, it's like tea water, it's hot, which I'm a bit of a bitch when it comes to fucking hot and cold water. I want cold water as much as I can while planting. So I use these. I bring 2 of these out. I have one like this. This is just a little Gatorade orange one, 4 liters. I bring one of these, and then I have another gray one that I don't have with me. But these I think are fucking great. They keep the water cold pretty much right to the end of the day. Not freezing cold, but a lot colder than the other one will. So make sure you got a jug of water. I think it's recommended to bring 10 liters. So get a 10-liter jug or 4 liters. I like these as well because they fit right in my bag. Now clothing is, for me, I always struggle with packing clothes because I always bring too much. I bring too many articles of clothing. So this year I wrote down what I'm going to bring. It is in 2 piles. You've got your work clothes and you have your camp clothes. Do not be surprised if by like midway through the season, you're really only wearing your work clothes during the work week. You know, not often will you go back and have the energy to fucking get changed into comfy clothes just to go and get changed into work clothes. When I get back to camp, I just stay in my work clothes unless they're wet. But I bring 4 pairs. You know what, actually, it depends on what your schedule is going to be. I always do 4-in-1s. So I bring 4-in-1s being 4 days of work, 1 day off, 4 days of work, 1 day off. So I bring 1 outfit essentially for each of those days, just so that on the off chance that every single day of the week is raining, I at least start the day in something that's dry and kind of warm. So I just make sure that I have 4 outfits. I'm not gonna go into like what I wear, but 4 shirts, 4 pairs of pants, 1 to 2 sweaters. I recommend just 1 sweater, 1 planting sweater, and then a fucking unbelievable amount of socks. Like as many fucking socks as you can bring, honestly. Like these things, you have no idea, you're gonna lose them all. You're gonna, you know, just go through like 2 to 3 socks a day. These ones, these are fucking awesome. Because, you know, you wear 2 pairs of socks while planting, at least I do. I do ankle socks and then bigger socks over top. I get home from planting, and it's like the first thing I do is put on fresh socks. I might keep my work clothes on, but I put on fresh socks. So you're gonna go through a lot of pairs of socks. You're probably gonna lose them. So bring like as many fucking pairs of socks as you can. And then that's just the planting stuff. You know, I do outfit for the day, 1 sweater, fuck ton of socks. When it comes to camp clothes, these are just comfortable clothing. Like I said earlier, I don't wear these as much by midway through the season and the end of the season as I do at the beginning, but I just bring 2 outfits to wear because I only really wear these on the day off. So there's 1 day off a week. So I'll bring like 1 outfit, so maybe 2 shirts, 2 pairs of pants, 1 pair of shorts, 1 pair of swimming shorts, because usually there's a body of water that we'll go and swim in. And then what else do I have written down? 1 to 2 sweaters, depending on if you want to bring 1 hefty sweater and 1 kind of cozy, comfy one for just like the springy sort of, you know, mildish days. And then 1 thing I highly recommend is a fucking winter coat. Dan, this is for you. At the beginning of the season, like I said at the beginning of this video, it's fucking cold as shit. So I remember in my rookie season, I was freezing watching everybody walk around in these giant fucking costumes, and they looked warm. So if you have the room for it, I honestly would recommend bringing something like this, because the mornings can be cold, the days can be cold. I've planted in snow, I have planted in -10 weather, I have woken up inside a tent and fucking seen my breath. Having something like this, honestly, in my opinion, is a game changer that not everyone thinks of and not everybody brings. So pack 1 of these motherfuckers. When it comes to eating and drinking at camp, I eat everything out of Tupperware. So I get 1 of these big ones, a big Tupperware. I do my breakfast inside of this. I do my dinner. I do everything. I'll even pack my lunch. I usually bring like 3 of these. So I just put everything in 1 Tupperware. A lot of people bring plates and they'll use plates. I just put everything in this. It's easy to store. It's easy to pack up. I am notorious for, if there's enough food for it, eating dinner and then packing a little bit extra, bringing that for lunch the next day. Definitely bring these. This is just me. A lot of people might bring bowls and plates and stuff like that. I'm a Tupperware guy. I bring like 3 of these big ones and maybe 2 of the smallers. Your cutlery, bring as much fucking cutlery as possible, because you are going to lose cutlery and people will 100% steal yours. Like honestly, it might be worth just going and buying one of those things from Canadian Tire or Walmart, like a $25 just pack of cutlery. I think those things are great. I don't bring cups. I bring travel mug for work, coffee on the days off, coffee in the morning, bring coffee to work. my Nalgene. This is what I bring to the block and what I drink while I'm planting. And then I bring one mixer, which is what I'll just kind of like carry around camp. I don't bring cups or like mugs or anything like that. I just bring travel mugs and bottles. Now, this next thing isn't really essential. It is sort of, I just recommend bringing some kind of entertainment, electronics, right? Whatever that might look like. You can bring your phone, you know, something to download like Netflix and shit on, or bring a Nintendo Switch. Maybe you're gonna bring your laptop to play games, stuff like that. It's just, highly recommend bringing something to entertain yourself because it can get pretty boring being at camp all the fucking time if you're not, you know, just kind of laying in your tent or just like whatever, you know what I mean? Books, fucking electronics, charging cords, all of that kind of stuff, but I don't think that's anything that needs to be told. It's not really essential. I just recommend it. This next one, this is a shout out to Ethan, the guy that did the intro video and did all the logos for me. And I agree, this is essential as fuck. Sandals. Or honestly, maybe not sandals or slip-ons, but some kind of easy to slip on shoe to wear around at camp. There's nothing fucking worse than having to put your feet and like tie them into tight shoes and walk around camp. Sometimes like when you're wearing your boots and you're planting, your feet are gonna get fucked up. So having something nice and light to just slide on your feet while you're going around camp, I think is a huge game changer. These slides are perfect. I got them at Mark's. You can get a cheap pair fucking anywhere, but these things I personally believe are game changing. Going back to talking about electronics, I think a charging box, this is Brittany's, I don't have mine. Mine I think is broken, so I gotta go get a new one. But a charging box, something that you can use to charge your stuff inside the tent while you're sleeping overnight. Usually camps will have some kind of designated area that you can plug in your stuff to charge, but that's only going to be going if the generator is on or if it's being powered up. So oftentimes it won't charge overnight, but will charge in the morning when they wake up to make food. I think having one of these in your tents is pretty essential. I haven't done a season without a way to charge, but I know so many people that don't bring one of these and they just use what the camp provides to charge their stuff, which has worked out for them so far. But I just think these are great. And then one of the last things that could maybe not be essential to some people, but it is to me, is working hands. Like when it comes to taking care of yourself and first aid, I've never really done that. I had this weird view for a while that, you know, your first couple of shifts really suck, your body gets really torn apart and beat up, and then it sort of just calluses and then you're good to go, right? Once you kind of heal up, you're set for the rest of the season. I think working hands are the best. Within a couple hours of me planting, my hands are already blistered and cut up. So on my first day, working hands is just going to heal that process, because what is the point of dealing with hands that can barely put a tree in the ground or barely hold your shovel when it's just going to slow you down? So I think that working hands is unbelievable. This stuff works like a fucking charm. I think it is very essential. It is awesome. This kind of goes in with toiletries as well. So just like the basic toiletries, your toothbrush, your toothpaste, stuff like that. Laundry detergent is kind of dependent on the camp. I don't know if every camp has laundry. The camp that I do does usually have a washer and a dryer that can be used in certain situations. It's not really a free-for-all for the camp. We still use laundromats on days off, but if there was a reason that we couldn't get to town on the day off or whatever, we usually have a laundry machine available to us. So if you are somebody who has that, or maybe you just need it anyways for the laundromats you're going to be using, but laundry detergent and your toiletries. But aside from that, last thing, I say this for the last because it's my fucking favorite thing about it, is a day bag. A day bag is a bag that you bring to the block. It is your work bag. So my mom got me one for Christmas. This thing is fucking awesome. Look at this. Look at the size of this fucking thing. Like, what is it? How many liters is this? Does it say? Does it say how many fucking liters this is? I don't know, 300? It's massive. It's waterproof. Highly recommend you get a waterproof bag because, you know, when you're at work and you're planting, your bag, and it's a rain day, your bag's just gonna get poured on and soaking wet. Usually people are putting their stuff in like garbage bags and stuff, but I think just do a little bit of extra money and get yourself a waterproof bag. I just think it works out a lot better. The fact that this is really big kind of works out for me this year because I'm gonna be bringing all of my filming equipment in it. Now, did I miss something? Probably not, because this is only the stuff that I think are essential. Everything that I just talked about and showed, I know it was kind of just like la-di-da, me fucking speaking, throwing stuff up in front of the camera, filming this kind of last minute, pretty bummed out about the news for New Brunswick, so I kind of just got like a little bit deflated. But everything that I just talked about, those are the essentials. There's a lot of stuff I didn't speak about in this video that some people might think are essential, but I don't, because I did my entire rookie season without it. What I just showed you is what I brought to my rookie season. There was nothing else. I didn't bring fucking gloves. I didn't bring anything. It was just what I talked about now. I survived this season, but it fucking sucked. Next weekend, next week, sorry, I'm going to go over all of the extra little shit or all of the things that I have discovered over the years of planting that just make your life so much easier and make the job a lot more tolerable that maybe doesn't get talked about in the packing list or isn't considered essential. But anyways, yeah, that is the end of this video. I'm sorry I did not post last week. I know it's just a small audience, but I had a lot of stuff going on in my life that I just didn't have the energy to put into a video. Next week I'm gonna go over all the extra stuff, and then I've got a couple weeks until the season starts. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe and show all that love. I have so many fucking ideas I'm excited to share. In the meantime, deal with me in this room speaking. Until next week, I love you all, and don't forget 2 steps tree, baby. I can fit in this thing. Knees. Fuck. Oh, almost.